Man, I love Pizza Pockets.
Don't worry, Max.
Man,
We'll
I
reunite the
love
prism and
Pizza
we'll all be
Pockets.
restored.
Man, I love
This
Pizza
is the
Pockets.
friend Nate thought was like me. We're nothing alike.
I love Pizza Pockets.
Also, pizza pockets suck. Microwave mac and cheese is so much better.
I'll reunite the prism. Since I can fly, it'll be a lot easier.
Whoa!
What's that?
What's that?
That's Bryson!
Who's Bryson?
Bryson's the leader of Brook Painvin.
Like an alternate Brian?
Yeah, an alternate Brian or whatever.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Fort, go. I also have powers to fly, so I'll reassemble the prism.
Or I'll stay here with Miles, but call me if you need anything.
Got it.
What's happening? Fort?
Max?
Man, I love Pizza Pockets.
Are 30 of cheap robots all you got?
What? I thought this was the enemy?
This is easier than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a $1 million budget robot.
Fort, you did it!
Yeah.
Okay, now let me open a portal to the Grim.
The Grim? Why?
What? We're not restoring your old universe. We're transforming the Grim into our ideal universe, the perfect world in Grim, our clean slate.
But Miles, we had a plan.
Listen here, Miles. I assure you that Brookhaven is 100 times better. No, actually, 1,000 times better than the Grim or whatever. You restored it earlier. It's possible.
You're wrong about that. We need to build a new home.
Come on, Miles. Brookhaven will be better.
Ugh, you guys just assumed I'd go along with you and didn't consider what I wanted.
No!
So long, Nathan Fort.
It's all gone.
Miles is probably just upset. We can talk him out of it.
Nate, get in the van right now. We are going to the Grim.
Fort, please, calm down.
We can't risk losing anyone from our universe, so we're gonna pick up Ghost Max.
Yeah, we can't risk
I love
losing anyone
Pizza
from
Pockets.
Brookhaven.
Man, I love Pizza Pockets.
We had some good times, Nate, and I barely met Fort back at the boss catch when he picked us up in the weird flying van. Whoa! Yes!
What is happening?
Miles has reconnected the shards in the Grim. This is bad. I want to beat him up. Oh yeah.
Man, I love Pizza Pockets. Man, I love.
Blah! What the fiddlesticks?
Max, you're back!
The last thing I remember is taking my morning walk to the grocery store for some pizza pockets. Then I saw a sign shockwave come from the mountain next to the river as the sky went black. Then I woke up and Fort was fighting some weird robot, but I felt really bad. Now I wake up here, and I don't feel bad like earlier anymore.
Right. The incident. Come on. I can get to prison. Oh. Dumb robot. Seriously, Brian? It's like 8 in the morning. Well, check this out. I'm tired of so many power gems. I'm just gonna break this one. Wait, no! Ugh, Nathan.
How can a huge prism energy crystal hold together reality? And what is this place, Fort?
This is the Grim, and to answer your question, now that's a very good question, Max, but I'm just really glad you're back because the prismatic energy here is really high. Anyways, we gotta find this dude Miles, who's just an alternate version of you created by the Prism Shatter, because he stole the shards and wants to make the Grim the only world in existence.
Miles Morale?
Not that Miles! Anyways, we have to go confront him, probably fight him, so we can get the shards back and restore Brookhaven and stabilize the universe.
Fine, let's go talk to that dude.
It's so great seeing you again, Max. Let's go find Miles. Okay, I see Miles on the top of the building. Max, Nate, you guys go inside and take the shards back to Brookhaven. I'll go fight Miles.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, Fort's fighting Miles, so let's get the prism and take it to Ghosthaven.
Alright then,
Why is your voice different?
I got cursed by some dude from another dimension, so every now and then my voice switches to this.
Okay. What? The blue shard never connected? No time to waste. Let's take these to Ghosthaven. Ready to fight, Fort?
I'm always ready.
There's no chance you beat me.
You're wrong. Ever heard of these?
What are those?
Chaos control!
Uh-oh. Why did your hoodie turn green, and why do you have green thunder? I'm screwed.
This ends now, Miles. We gave you a chance to join us in Brookhaven, but you declined it and took the shards here to create your own little paradise.
Please, we can talk this
That's
out.
very selfish, by the way.
Ow! Ugh! Whoa.
Yeah!
Let me view Brookhaven before we reunite the prism. It's been so long since I've seen it. Whoa! What's going on?
What the hell are those?
Our world is collapsing?
I guess we're lucky because if it would have been like any more late, maybe these cracks would have started sucking everything in Brookhaven. Luckily, since the shards are here now, it seems to have stabilized a little.
Yeah, that's good. A few seconds later, it may have started to break or something.
Well, what's next?
I'll get for it. Here's the portal to the mountain. It should take like 20 seconds to close.
Alright, I'll see you later at the mountain. Oh, looks like they took the shards to Ghosthaven. Oh, this world is decaying now.
Fort! Ghosthaven is decaying!
Wait, what?
Leave Miles Max Alice alone. Go to Ghosthaven and reconnect the shards, and I'll try to fix these huge cracks in the sky.
Well, this is goodbye, Miles.
Fort, please!
No, I don't want to hear it. Goodbye.
What the? Ah! The decay cracks are absorbing me in! I'm no genius. My powers are just likely able to fix these cracks. I just don't know how.
It's fine. Once I reconnect the prism, they should probably go away anyways. Now I understand why the shatter spaces are decaying. Miles reconnected 4 shards correctly, but he misplaced the no-place shard, so that's why the shatter spaces are decaying. Not to mention he connected them in the Grim instead of Ghosthaven, so that was also causing the Shatterverse to decay. I won't place it wrong like Miles. Ow!
Home sweet home. We did it! I'm glad the Shadowverse stopped decaying, otherwise those K-Cracks would have killed me. How do I get revenge? I've got a plan! Ha 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 ha!